Sharp, sharp, my boys. I had an epiphany today. I had an epiphany tonight, right? Nobody, I don't think anybody really, I don't think people in the Naruto fandom understands the rinnegan. And I think I understand what Kishimoto is saying, right? Here's the thing: the first instant we see the rinnegan and how they explain the rinnegan is supposed to be a God's eye, essentially, right? A God's eye, essentially, right? Like a godlike type of thing going on, and you can see throughout the series that the rinnegan can have different abilities depending on the user. And 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 what I think is going on is that the rinnegan it actually is that powerful, but it's only limited to the imagination of the user, right? Let's talk about this, for example. Let's talk about the characters that use the rinnegan, right? To make it sensible. Naruto, right? Naruto's abilities reflect his character and his imagination, right? Naruto is the only character. Wait, no. Is it? Is it? No, I think Madara too. But Naruto and Madara are the only characters that used the rinnegan's ability to literally bring people back to life. Isn't that crazy, my boy? Here's the thing too. As I said, the rinnegan is an ability that reflects the user's imagination. Let me give you an epiphany right now. The first time Nagato used the rinnegan, do you know how he got it? Do you know how he got it? Through pain, through suffering. And so his abilities reflected that. How he used the ghetto statue, literally, how he used the ghetto statue, literally is the most painful depiction of the rinnegan. His entire character is about suffering and pain, and what does his rinnegan abilities display? How do they show themselves through suffering and pain? He's the only character where the rinnegan is painful to use, like stupendously so, and that's the thing. But here's the thing: Nagato is the most creative, he has the most abilities, and you know why? Because he's the most imaginative, because he was a dreamer, right? He was a dreamer. The only thing he had is dreams. When that's his character. He's a dreamer, right? And so his ability we see that he has way more abilities than many of the rinnegan users that we see. Madara, right? His rinnegan abilities literally reflect his efficiency, his creativity, and his creativity and efficiency, and something else. I forgot what I wanted to say, but creativity and efficiency, right? The limbos, the limbo clones, or the ability that can slap an entire, they can slap tail beasts away. Is that a Rinnegan ability? No. Like we see that efficiency and creativity. That's mad. His Rinnegan abilities reflect that. Obito, his is inspiration, right? His Rinnegan abilities are very much inspiration. But I forgot how he uses the Rinnegan, so I'm not going. But it does reflect that. Sasuke, Sasuke is another case of showing the characters of importantly showing in 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 the original ship in the original Shippuden, the original series, and in Boruto. His Rinnegan abilities are bare bones. His Rinnegan abilities enhance him, enhance enhance his Sharingan abilities. I'm told. So literally look at his Rinnegan design, a Rene Sharingan, because he kind of lacks imagination, and like and his entire thing is that he's an Uchiha that copies. Like that's literally Sasuke's entire thing, to be honest. Copying for the most of the series, and besides some instances where he's creative, but it and because of that, his Rinnegan abilities reflect that. They are enhancements rather. He doesn't use them beyond that because he lacks imagination. He lacks imagination. So the Rinnegan actually is very OP, depending on the user. Maybe a child that's just that in our normal world will literally be one of the most overpowered beings in the Naruto universe, because she's not, they are not limited. If they awaken the Rinnegan, that the imagination is off the hooks. Their imagination is off the hooks, and it's the imagination is of happiness, of just straight silliness, and it will reflect that a child having a Rinnegan of the modern world, who has a proper life, will literally be a Looney Tunes. His abilities will reflect that and be goofy, Looney Tunes like. So I think the Rinnegan truly is like a godlike ocular power, but the abilities reflect your character, and your character, and where you draw your power from, right? And that's a poetic thing. Obi Nago- Naguto it draws his Rinnegan, his abilities and his strength from pain and suffering, right? And the other thing is he's a dreamer, and so he's when we see him using his abilities, it's a lot more. He can do a lot more than any other character, than most characters with Rinnegan, even on two skis. Then there's a murderer. He is creativity, thinking outside of the, yeah, that's what I wanted to say. Thinking outside of the box, and thinking outside of the box, and thinking outside of the box, and efficiency. Those are the three things: creativity, thinking outside of the box and efficiency, and that reflects in his rinnegan abilities. Every character, Kishimoto literally is telling you what type of person. The rinnegan is telling you what type of person a person is. Through the abilities, they are telling you what type of person, what type of character, through the abilities that they show from the rinnegan. They're showing them the most important traits of the characters. And nobody, I don't think nobody actually ever thinks about that. I cracked the code.